And hello, and welcome to Ron Woodlock Reports. The story we're working on is evolving. We have with us today Noelia Reese. Noelia, welcome to the program.
Hi, Ron.
Noelia has been for a 15-year period involved with an organization that provided Rainbow Express service was the name, and that provided rural transportation needs to Zapata County, Jim Hogg County, Duval County, and Starr County here in the South Texas area. Rural transportation, really an important key thing that a lot of people probably don't understand. Noelia, can you kind of explain to the audience why it's important, and then we'll get into what's happening with you and your organization.
Rural transportation is very important because there are many residents in the community who need a ride to get to work, who need a ride to get to their doctor's appointments, or who just need to get out of their home.
Or get educated, or go do some shopping that is not available in their small rural town.
Right.
Yeah. So for a 15-year period, you have been providing that. You've been the director of this transportation called Rainbow Express. And what has happened recently to change this service and the employment that you've had and the employees under you? What happened recently?
Sometime in late March, I was informed that the agency would be closing its doors. The agency, which is our host agency, the Community Action Council of South Texas, has been in existence for 50 years. It has run up into some financial hardships, and ultimately they decided to close the doors to the community. Most of the programs that were existing with the Community Action Council have been transitioned over, just as the Rainbow Lines is being transitioned over now to the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council.
And the funding up to this point, up to the point of March when the board decided to terminate its operation, those funds predominantly came from Texas Department of Public, TxDOT, state and federal agencies of various kinds and grants funded your operation.
Yes.
But something happened along the way. Ridership was not what it needed to be, whatever the case may be. And so now at this point in time, you were notified in March, as were the employees. How many employees worked for you?
Approximately a total of 30 employees.
Wow. So, and these people predominantly lived in these four small rural counties of Jim Hogg, Duval, and Starr, and Zapata County. Okay, so you got 30 employees working under you, you're their supervisor, and all of a sudden in March you get notification, somewhat of a peak slip, because the entity you're working for is giving you a paycheck, is not going to be coming forth anymore, and the service to the community is not going to be provided, and so that was a shock to you and your employees and to the community. So what is the community telling you, and what are your employees telling you at this point in time? What were they telling you up until today, when apparently at this point in time, the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, who has a program called Valley Metro, is going to be absorbing your operation? But what was going on with you and your staff? Shock?
Yes,
Dismay?
shock, dismay, worried. There was a lot of concerns, where are we going to be able to get employment somewhere else? Is a new agency coming in to take over the transportation services and maybe not letting them continue to work? All during this time, there has been planning in the background to work something out with another entity that could possibly carry the same employees over and pick up the services, so that there would be no interruption of services in the community. And that is what I think, hopefully June 1st will be our first day with Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. Both the counties of Starr and Zapata are being absorbed by Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, and as of June 1st, we should be picking up pretty much where we left off on May 29th.
And the employees for a 90-day probationary period are going to be absorbed also by the council and Valley Metro.
Yes.
What's going to happen to the other counties, just so the audience understands what happened to the transportation needs and the employees and drivers, et cetera, that work for you in Duval County and Jim Hogg County?
the decision was made to split the counties. Both Star and Zapata were be coming to the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council in agreement with what the judges decided to designate Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council as a transportation provider. Then the Jim Hogg and Duval County judges designated Real Transportation out of Alice to perform the services in the counties of Jim Hogg and Duval.
So March, April, May, during those 3 months, you were somewhat worried, obviously, about your paycheck. You were worried about your employees, and what kind of discussions was going on between not only your employees but the riders, and explaining to the riders, well, we may no longer be able to provide your the service we've been providing to you.
We tried to remain calm and tried not to panic anybody. We did tell a lot of people some things are going to change, but we didn't give them all the information because we couldn't tell them. We didn't know.
Didn't have any information.
Didn't have it.
Yeah.
We couldn't tell them. We just, rather than, I had a meeting with my employees and I told them, I said, rather than be spreading out things that we're not sure of, I'd rather you just tell them you don't know. Everything's going to work out, and we'll have it, as soon as we have the information, we'll send it out to all who are worried about it. So
there was some prayers going on, some prayers happening, of course. And the riders, what were the riders telling you? Because your employees who are driving these vehicles were explaining to the riders something's going to happen, we don't know, but they were in a positive manner, that you were hopeful that the service would continue to the community.
we tried to reassure them. I did get a few calls like that, and we tried to reassure them that the services would continue, whether it be with us providing it, our same drivers, or someone else, that the transportation would continue because the funds are designated to provide services in that area.
So for the audience now, these services, somewhat in some cases an on-demand taxi service kind of a situation provided by federal government. You know where that is? That's Washington, D.C., of course. And secondly, TxDOT predominantly out of Austin, the state capital. And ridership fees of various quantities based on the distance being provided in service. Ridership numbers of this system were pretty good, pretty bad. Were they falling off at the time that the financial crisis occurred? What happened?
They remained consistent.
About 300 a day, about 75,000 people being serviced over a year's period of time. So ridership was doing pretty good. We're going to continue on this discussion with some of your employees that you're going to line up for us now, and kind of talk to them about what was happening not only within their own families, but in their discussions with the community at large, who were the 75,000 people that were being moved about throughout these 4 South Texas counties. We'll be back in a minute, so stay tuned to Ron Whitlock Reports. Welcome back to Ron Whitlock Reports. We're talking to you today and letting you participate in our coverage of an ongoing almost catastrophe that was taking place because a nonprofit organization was operating what's been called the Rainbow Line and providing rural transportation to the residents of Zapata County, Starr County, Jim Hogg County, and Duval County here in greater South Texas. And all of a sudden, Juan Gonzalez, who's the new person we're talking to at this point, and we kind of trying to figure out what exactly has been taking place here, Juan, with your organization. Suddenly got notified in March that the organization was disbanding. They were out of money, running into financial trouble, and they weren't sure about your future other than they put you on notice that you were probably losing your job because they were no longer going to continue to be in existence, and the folks that you were carrying around and shuttling various and sundry places for health care and educational needs and whatever, we're not going to potentially not have that service provided, right, Juan?
That's correct. As we speak, we have the numbers. We have a lot of people that depend on us for their services. There's been a number of people that couldn't believe that hey, you have a lot of customers per se. And I mean, where's all this money coming and all going? They were doubting that we could, but this problem goes back not to the present time, but in the past. due to the organization as a whole having financial problems with the IRS and things that I'm not very familiar with, but I do know that financially the agency was having trouble. And it's like, can you imagine a store being very popular and going broke? I mean, like, let's say suddenly a store like Walmart or Sam's starts going broke. How can that happen? I mean, we have the people, we have the demand coming in, we have all these people calling all day long to the office, and suddenly they tell you one day, I think it was during the week, probably on a Tuesday or Wednesday, they told us, hey, the agency's gonna disband, we have until May 31st. And all of a sudden this came in like, I mean, if I would have known in January about this, I would have started, looking elsewhere, but this was not even too long ago. And
So what was your job, Juan? Juan Gonzalez is your full name, and you've been a driver in the
I've been a
organization?
driver for a little bit more than 5 years already with the agency. Before that, I worked with the agency in another department, and I transferred to the transportation department. But as we speak,
Why did you do that? Why did you move to the transportation department?
the program previously where I was working at disbanded, the contract expired, and there was a transfer that was made.
After becoming a driver and getting involved in the Rainbow Line, giving transportation needs to these rural citizens of these small counties in South Texas, what have you learned during that period of time about the need for transportation in these small communities that maybe urbanized areas of the state really don't comprehend?
We are, Zapata, we are a community kind of unique because even though we are on the border area, we don't have any border crossing into Mexico. And we're 50 miles away from anywhere. So it's kind of unique compared to Rio Grande City. They had border towns, right, Starr County. But in Zapata, we're kind of exclusive in the way that we're 50 miles away from any medical help to begin with. A lot of these people depend on us to take them to their doctor's appointments, dental appointments,
Community college?
community college, and not only that, but also lately we've been transporting elementary school children who don't get a bus in their area. So that was another thing that we were serving. And we had all these people that didn't even know about the program. So there's people out there that still, as we speak, don't know that such a program exists. And if we were to go and outreach, hey, look, we have transportation, we charge so much, and we would do a lot of outreach work, it will actually increase the numbers.
Wow. So the ridership has been ongoing. There's a definite basis of need. It's been established over time. The personnel knows what they're doing. You've been in job with this 5 years. Noelia had been doing this job 15 years, so it's not like something that it's an unknown. It's something that's there. It's established, and all it needs is maybe a little promotion, a little marketing, and a little outreach, and even do even better. And of course, you're going to continue to need, obviously, state and federal funding to go ahead and provide a basis for providing the service. What would you tell the President of the United States or the governor if they're watching this as to why the federal government and the state government needs to continue to fund these rural transportation needs that these small rural counties need, not only here in South Texas, but across the nation? What's it important, Juan?
There's communities that are far away from other, and they don't have a way to transport themselves. I mean, the people don't have a way to transport to their doctors or other kind. Maybe they need to just get groceries. Maybe they need to get something that is not available in the town locally. Or some people might not be able to drive. There's a lot of elderly people that we have as customers that they're not able to drive themselves.
So at this point in time, are you real happy and pleased that the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council is going to be giving you a 90-day probationary job and taking over your...
More than anything, as long as the services continue for the community, that's what makes me, tranquil in this case. The services for the community are needed there. And I give thanks to the agency here, to Lower Rio Grande Valley, to have picked us up so we can continue giving people their need.
And as of this particular moment, the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council is taking over the Zapata route and also the Starr County route as per its program called Valley Metro. Ron Whitlock reports. Coverage of this story continues in a moment, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Ron Whitlock Reports. The story we're following right now is the fact that for many, many years, the communities of Zapata, Duval County, Jim Hogg County, Hebbronville, and Starr County and Rio Grande City have been provided a service by Rainbow Lines, a rural transportation service, taking them to their dental appointments, their doctor's appointments, to their community colleges, and to do shopping in Rio Grande City and in the McAllen Mission area, Corpus Christi, and Laredo. Now, this service was going out of business, and it was taken over by the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council as it relates to the Zapata line and the Starr County line. Now, the folks in Duval County and Jim Hogg County have been taken over by a line out of Alice to take them into Corpus Christi. We have with us now Maria Dolores Cantu. Welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Now, Maria Dolores Cantu has been working for the Rainbow Line for how long at this point? How long have you been working? And we're going to rely on Noelia Reese, who's been our supervisor, to do our translation.
¿Cuántos años ha trabajado con Rainbow Lines?
10 años.
And what has your job been, Maria?
¿Qué era su trabajo?
Chofer.
Ándale. How important has this job been to you and to your family?
¿Qué tan importante ha sido este trabajo para usted y su familia?
Pues muy importante porque aparte se trabaja bien con mis Ruiz. Aparte es muy bonito, ¿verdad? Este trabajo porque conoces pues mucha gente, le ayudas a mucha gente y la gente le ayuda a uno también. Las personas, ¿verdad? Este trabajo es muy diferente al que hemos tenido, ¿verdad? Entonces, es bien importante. Yo le platico a mi familia, ¿verdad? Tuvimos clientes nuevos, ¿verdad? Y a mí me gusta mi trabajo.
Dolores says that she gets to meet a lot of different people. She gets to help a lot of different people. And she talks to her family about the different people that she meets while providing the transportation.
Are you the only income provider for your family, or do you have other family members that also contribute into your family's survival? And
¿Usted es la única que está trabajando en su familia?
Sí. En este trabajo, sí, nada más yo.
you're in for the whole family.
Para toda su familia. Pues es que somos nomás mi esposo y yo,
Ándale.
porque tenemos 3 casados y uno soltero, pero viven en McAllen, Edimburgo, y es donde viven ellos.
Wonderful. So the job that you've had for 10 years with the transportation line called Rio, when it went away, if that job went away, it would be a real problem for your family.
No, porque, ¿cómo les digo? Yo les platiqué a ellos, ¿verdad? Que a lo mejor no trabajábamos ¿verdad? Porque pues no se puede decir te van a ocupar, porque yo no hablo inglés, hablo puro español. Le dije, pues mi hijo, le dije, pues no sé. Y ellos me dijeron, pues no te preocupes, nosotros te ayudamos. Yo no estaba muy preocupada.
She says that she did worry a little bit, but not too much, because her main concern was the fact that she doesn't speak English, and she was afraid that was one of the reasons that she might not be hired to provide transportation services.
Now, Maria, are you very pleased that the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council took over your line and is now providing this service to Zapata County residents and Starr County residents?
Bastante contenta porque, verdad, pues vamos a seguir trabajando, vamos a seguir conviviendo, tratando de ayudar, mejorar las cosas, verdad, ayudándole a la gente.
She's very happy with the fact that Lower Rio Grande Valley State is going to continue to provide the transportation. They're going to be able to continue working together with the same co-workers, and of course providing the transportation to the people in the communities.
Now, Maria, this service being provided now, very quickly, would you explain to the audience how important this transportation service is to your clients?
Oh, bien importante, principalmente para la gente que no tiene transportación, el medio de transportarse a sus trabajos, al doctor, a la tienda. Es muy importante eso, ¿verdad? Tener este medio de transporte, porque ellos se sienten bien contentos, ¿verdad? Por tener este programa.
There, she says, yes, it's very important. It's very important to be able to take the passengers or the clients to their appointments, to their jobs, to shopping, to the stores, to do their daily activities.
Thank you, Maria, for appearing on our program today.
Sí. Ay, gracias a ustedes.
Por nada, por nada. Thank you for watching us here today. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment, so stay tuned. Welcome to the wrap-up segment of Ron Whitlock Reports. Well, we started in on this little story here today, talking about the fact that the folks living in rural Zapata County, rural Starr County, are going to be losing their ability to get public transportation, to get health care, get dental care, to get to their community college and go into the shopping areas and larger communities. And that particular service has now been saved by the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. We welcome back on the program Noelia Reese. Now, Noelia, if you may remember from the first segment, has been the transportation director for Rio Express, now taken over by Valley Metro from the Rio Grande Valley Development Council. And Noelia, we appreciate you appearing and telling us about how all of a sudden y'all were notified that you were possibly losing your jobs and the service provided to these four rural counties, of which two taken over by Valley Metro, may be lost to the community. And the good news is today is
They are not going to be lost.
that service is going to be provided, and you're keeping your job, and your employees who want to remain are going to be keeping their jobs also. How important is rural transportation to your four counties, two that are remaining with Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council's program called Valley Metro? How important is ridership? Now, federal dollars help pay for the buses, pay for your salary, and the driver's salaries of those that we've talked to, Juan Gonzalez and Maria Dolores Cantu. Federal funds go into this pot. State funds, predominantly by TxDOT, go into this pot, and ridership fees also goes into this pot. So it's important for everybody to understand that the more people that ride, the more positive it is on this service being continued and improving.
The performance of an agency or the transit agency includes ridership, and the ridership fares are all used for operating funds. So yes, they help fund the fares help fund our ability to continue providing the services. It's very important, of course, to receive money from the TxDOT and the federal government to provide safe transportation. So it's very important for vehicles and that will be used to, or for money to come in to purchase vehicles that will be used to provide safe transportation in the counties. All of the ridership, of course, is a performance indicator that helps the government decide how much funds to provide to a community.
Are the local counties also asked to throw money into the pot to kind of help it continue to operate in some cases?
In some cases, they are.
Uh-huh. Okay. Anything else that you'd like to explain before we go off the air here today about this particular thing? Are you, obviously you're very happy that your employees are going to continue to get paid. You've been doing it 15 years. It's part of your heart. We've seen the heart of the two writers you've had on here on the program today, Juan Gonzalez and Maria Dolores Cantu, because they talk more about the loss of service to the people that they have been driving the buses for than they really were about their own paycheck. Isn't that something?
All of our drivers are very committed to providing the service that they provide. They are trained professional drivers, and they're very happy, and we're all very happy to be able to continue the services, to continue to provide the services to the community, and we're very happy that Lower Rio Grande Valley adopted us because we are now part of their family.
So you're now the children of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, and happily so.
Yes, we are.
Well, thank you so much, and God bless you, and we appreciate you appearing on our program. Appreciate you watching. Till next time, adios.